You must be a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure if you clicked on this thumbnail. Or maybe you're a fan of Steve Harvey. He does give good motivational speeches.
You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative, because I get mentally drained from my job.
Maybe you're a fan of me. Alright, I thought I'd try. I was that guy who didn't give anime a chance. I thought it was weird. And it is. You know, as Sam Solik put it, the anime fans in high school, they were ahead of the game. While everyone else was hating on it for not being mainstream, they held on to it for what they knew was art. Especially if you were like in those early 2000s trenches. I'm not talking 2016 or 2015 anime fans. I'm talking 2009. Back then, people just thought anime fans were stinky. And they were. But since then, the reputation of anime has gone completely mainstream. Anyone could be an anime watcher. Gym bros, crypto gals, farmers, the Amish? We can't leave any possibilities off the table. Dog walkers? Don't watch this anime if you like dogs. Or do. I mean, John Wick, that was pretty compelling to a lot of people, what they did with the dog in it. I saw a TikTok that said people like anime because it inspires them. You know, Western cartoons, they don't have those same serious themes of never giving up and taking life on nightmare mode. Determination, mastery, even kindness. These are the themes that make people value the stories animes try to tell. But even the best animes can have their blind spots. Major spoilers for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure coming up. Okay, so I want you to spot the stand user. There! One of the funniest things about this anime is that the enemies are not subtle at all. Like, remember a couple years ago before the MCU was garbage? You know, before it was super doo-doo garbage, like literal doo-doo water, back when it was in its prime? It was so good that one of the only things people could make fun of was that the heroes did not have very subtle disguises. Now it's so bad that they might revive the original Avengers. Well, Stardust Crusader villains make these heroes look like this camouflaged leopard. Bet you can't find it. I'm gonna show you where it is in 5 seconds. Pause now to spot the leopard. Actually, comment which part of this grid the leopard is in. 3, 2, 1. There was no leopard. What is a Stardust Crusader villain? I actually think I need to explain this because my channel has no niche. So there are probably a lot of people watching who have actually never seen this show. You know how some channels have niches? Like, oh, it's the Minecraft video essay channel, or it's the celebrity biopic channel. I made a video on Diary of a Wimpy Kid, then Lethal Company, and then Frank Ocean. My channel is so nicheless that there's a reason for me to explain stuff like this for the fans. So in this anime, there is a group of heroes called the Stardust Crusaders. Why are they called that? We don't know. Besides the fact that the main character Jotaro is a descendant of the Joestar family, and he's got a star birthmark. Now, friend groups. Everyone's got their friend group. There's the silly friend group, the friends for life friend group, the counterfeit money printer friend group. Oh, you don't have a friend group? That's okay. This is just a transitionary time in your life. You'll find your people. For now, why not join out in this community? I run polls with the silliest questions. Rumor has it we'll be voting on our favorite animes this week, and someone's gonna choose Spy Family over Attack on Titan. You better be there to make sure that vote doesn't win. Jotaro's friend group consists of a whole bunch of lads. Their names are Kakuin, Avdol, Polnareff, and Joseph. And they have to travel across the world because there's this evil guy named Dio who has infected Jotaro's mother with a lethal virus. Who's hyped for update 50? It's coming soon. It's gonna be substantial. Zeekers, you're the best developer ever. Dio is a real nefarious individual. I'm talking, this is the type of guy who does evil things that send a chill down your spine. He eats pizza with a fork and knife. He doesn't pour the cereal first. He pours the seltzer water. He's the type of guy to see you making everyone laugh and then ask you a bunch of sabotaging questions that make you look like a loser. You'll have the whole squad laughing, and then he'll come up and ask you if you still need his hotspot and a ride after the party, and if you're gonna need him to co-sign on the ball of lint you're financing because your degree in chimney sweeping got revoked when your cousin's uncle left you stranded on the job. To make a connection for any fans of Twilight, he's a British vampire. This dude has a very long list of crimes, and I can't even mention all of them here. Apparently, according to the villains wiki, he's listed as having done mass whacking and paterno whacking, but Dio is also listed as having done conspiracy, destruction of property, sabotage, high treason, gaslighting, attempted world domination, and pollution. So the Stardust Crusaders are traveling to whack him. They don't even know about all that other stuff. They just heard about the eating cereal with seltzer water and decided he had to go. He's not even lactose intolerant or anything. He just likes it that way. But to be fair, I do be eating the green part of the strawberry. Jack Black suggested it, and I haven't gone back since. Like, I adapted to the taste, and now I prefer the green part. I feel like this is information the FBI shouldn't be able to get out of me. Dio obviously doesn't want them ruining his fun. He hates these guys because of their ancient generational beef that we are not explaining today. If you were an evil vampire hiding inside a mansion, would you face the Crusaders trying to stop you on your own? No, you would send henchmen. And that is what Dio does throughout this entire part of the anime. He sends all sorts of henchmen. One of them's a gorilla. The power system in this world, that's like how people fight in it, is with these things called stands. What does stand stand for? Sniper monkey. No, they call it a stand because it stands next to you, except when it doesn't. But the thing is, not everyone is a stand user. There's a lot of people in this world who don't have stands. So logically, if you're a henchman getting sent to take on the Crusaders, you would want to use that to your advantage. If you can hide the fact that you're an enemy, then these guys won't know where you are. And you have to hide because the good guys in the show are low-key just as dangerous and menacing as the bad ones.
Our driver isn't just going to come out and announce it.
He's messing with us.
Yeah, then I guess this leaves us with only one option, right, Jotaro?
Yeah.
We'll just beat them all down.
Hey, Jotaro! This is crazy! Mr. Joestar!
You know how there's that trope in shows and movies where the protagonist will kind of embarrass the villain to teach them a lesson? Like, oh, Joker, you just destroyed the city and ruined countless lives. I'm hanging you upside down. Well, the Stardust Crusaders do that too, but they kind of tend to take things a little too far. One time, one of the bad guys was hiding underground and he was like breathing through a tube. He thought hiding underground and using his stand at a distance would be the move to avoid these hooligans. It was not the move. Because when the Crusaders found him, they started dropping stuff into his breathing tube like dirt and rocks, and then they used it as a urinal. One time there was an evil not adult. He was basically not adult Freddy Krueger, so he kind of had this coming, but when the Stardust Crusaders found out the not adult was their enemy, they fed him literal doo-doo water. To be fair, he was trying to whack them in their dreams, but this has to be breaking some sort of international convention.
I really don't care that you're a baby. I'll snap your neck like a twig.
One of the Crusaders is a dog who likes to grab onto people's faces and fart on them. That is like a code red threat. You don't even have to be an enemy either, because he really only did this to his own allies. He would just jump on their face and start farting. I would be hiding too. I was actually crying laughing when this dog got introduced. I was watching it in VR, so I was like seeing this dog fart on Polnareff on a resolution like 5 times the size of a movie screen. I couldn't like recline when I was watching though, because the change in altitude would cause me to fall through and be inside the Netflix app's virtual couch. I just wanted to point out that development error. But this was so funny to me. Like at one point, Jotaro is trying to cross over a desert holding onto the dog's stand, which is like this floating bigger dog. I actually don't know how to describe it. It gives me the energy of that like machine from SpongeBob that solely exists to ruin Squidward's day. You know the one. But anyways, he's holding onto Iggy's stand and he can't touch the ground because if he does, the enemy stand user on the other side of the desert will whack them. And so they're floating in this sort of uneasy alliance trying not to touch the ground. But then the dog gets nervous and starts like farting like 9 times as the glider simultaneously loses its momentum.
Hey, Mutt, quit tensing up like that. You're starting to fart again. For your sake, you better not let out a big one.
I feel like I'm not painting a good picture of what anime is. The insane part is that the enemy stand users are so bad at hiding to the point where an entire meme has been made to play on this trope. On the surface, it seems like the problem is that most of these villains tend to wear very eccentric outfits. I'm talking hanging like ornaments from your hair eccentric. That was a dead giveaway to Polnareff. But when you actually look at them all together, most of their style is actually somewhat subtle, at least compared to how these memes frame them. Well, that is except for Vanilla Ice coming in with the leotard cape, but I'm not gonna diss him because he's one of my mains on the JoJo fighting game. I don't know what it is. He's classified as a low tier fighter on most tier lists, but when I use Vanilla Ice, I can win against like anyone easily. Like I'll try my best. I'll use 110% of my brain to try and win with Giorno, and I'll always get packed. Contrary to how the memes have exaggerated this phenomenon, a lot of the Dio army outfits are pretty plain, but some of them tend to have menacing auras and strange builds that make them very suspicious. How does one acquire this build? I don't think he's hitting core. The real problem is how they absolutely fold in moments of pressure, and there is a lot of pressure because not only are these Crusaders YouTuber pranksters, their main guy Jotaro also beats the living chestnuts out of his enemies. That's what separates you and me, Joker. I don't whack my enemies. He's gonna be fine when he wakes up. And you have the Crusaders right in the palm of her hands. She had them about to sleep in an inn, which was inside a city entirely created and controlled by her stand. Not only was this city full of confusing zombies, it had the render distance of beta 1.7. City was straight out of that melatonin dream I had while listening to Blonde. Here's the playbook. Just chill out, wait until everyone goes to sleep, and then whack them. And then all the trash and coffee beans will be yours. That's all Enya had to do to win this fight. But nah, she constantly fumbled the bag because she couldn't conceal her hatred, and kept on accidentally saying information she researched about the Crusaders like Joe Goldberg. I don't even think she looks like a stand user. This could just be a plain old ordinary Baba Yaga, nothing to see here. But no, she starts running around with scissors getting way too excited. And that's never a good idea. Before you know it, Jotaro just eats her stand and the gang leaves. Another victim of the Stardew Crusaders. If I could cosplay as anyone, it would be Giorno Giovanna, even though I'm bad with him at the game. I just want to see if I can pull off the cut. Perhaps one of the least subtle characters was Darby the Gambler. He wasn't even trying to hide the fact he was an enemy. He just really wanted to gamble. I feel like if he existed today, he'd be one of those streamers who sits on stake for 13 hours or does DraftKings ads. At first, it seemed like Darby had the advantage. Even against Joseph's trickery of purposely mispronouncing his name, he kept his cool and defeated him. But there's a reason why people hide from this guy here. Because Darby then proceeded to lose at his own game when Jotaro bluffed while literally putting the game on his mama. This was the type of stuff people would do to win Among Us in 2019. The stress of merely playing cards with the Star Wars Crusaders caused Darby's life to accelerate at an inhuman pace and go hysterical. Not only did he fall on the floor, but he forfeited all the winnings he had ever earned and started sheepishly laughing. Now that is not a word you hear on YouTube every day. They like anime and cartoons, both have their strengths and weaknesses. So does Stardust Crusaders. Sometimes Sometimes the episodes feel really clever and rewarding, and it's interesting to see how people get outsmarted. Other times, episodes drag on as you can barely cope with the obliviousness of the gang and their enemies, as they talk in circles, not wanting to draw any conclusions about the very suspicious people they encounter. Make sure to emerald splash that subscribe button. If you're still watching by the end of this video, chances are you're a pretty patient and grounded person, and we could use your opinion in these polls. Thanks for watching. I'm Lufa.